What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel for another review video. I'm Lucifer17 and today we're going to be talking about Lucifer Season 4, a series that rose from the ashes of its cancellation by Fox and is now on Netflix, back better than ever. Season 4 premiered on May 8th for a full run of 10 episodes to encourage obviously the binge watching rather than have the previous seasons like they did with releasing an episode per week and then having the gaps. And it was much better to do it that way, and I'm going to explain why and then we'll get into some really good details about the series. So having a binge watch of a season like Lucifer is wonderful, even if it is for 10 episodes, because in my personal opinion season 3 ran on for a bit too long and majority of the episodes in that season felt like filler episodes. They didn't do much for the story and the characters, I felt, but season 4 was not like that at all. Season 4 was a wonderful return for not just the devil but the whole cast and the crew as well. They did an admirable job with this season. I cannot thank them enough for bringing us probably one of the best seasons we have seen of Lucifer. And the reason why I say that is the character story arcs, the action, the devil side of Lucifer, all of this was just shown beautifully throughout the course of this season. And in particular with character arcs, Chloe Decker probably had one of her best seasons yet. Lauren German gave her top performance as Chloe throughout the entirety of this season, but in particular two specific scenes that she done with Tom Ellis. And one of those was her holding the axe to his chest, and she's there pressing it against him. He's like, if I push this it will kill you, and he says yes. She was like, because I'm close to you, and then he turns around and says, yes, but I would do it over and over and again. I would save you no matter whether it hurts me or not. And that scene was beautifully acted by both Tom Ellis and Lauren German. And another one is the scene in the penthouse during the course of episode 3. I felt like Lauren was wonderful during this, because Chloe is completely unsure if she can accept Lucifer for who he really is after obviously seeing his devil face at the end of season 3. She then has a month gap to kind of process the information, and she does this by going to a church, researching all this stuff to do with the devil, and is then confronted by Father Kinley, and he tells her about this prophecy. It's kind of all that bit was all a bit tangled for me, but it was explained quite nicely throughout the course of the season. But then she comes back, and that particular scene in episode 3 was wonderful because she is completely unsure if she can accept his devil side, and then she breaks down and she's like, I can't because I'm terrified. She's terrified of the devil, and it's another reason for her to keep Maze away from Tucson, because knowing Lucifer is the true devil, she now knows that Maze is a true demon, and she doesn't want her daughter hanging around with a demon. Who would? Like, nobody would. And that's understandable that she would want to keep Trixie away from Maze, even if Trixie is just like, oh, Maze, my best friend, and like Maze and Trixie really forgives Maze during the course of the first episode for after what Maze said at the end of season 3. That was a lovely moment. But Lauren German was wonderful during this, as was Leslie Ann Brandt as Maze. I felt her character has the strongest character development out of any throughout the course of the season, because she goes from this demon who is all about torturing and destroying and like sexual encounters. She now has become a person who we still recognize as that demon, but she has changed. She cares for so many people. She wants to be involved with Linda and her baby. She saves Chloe, and it's wonderful to see how a character like that can change. And the same thing is with Lucifer as well. Like, he goes through most of this season pushing Chloe away after she obviously betrays him by trying to woofie him and send him back to hell. But it was wonderful at the end of the season to see Lucifer and Chloe finally admitting their true feelings for one another, and he does so just before he returns to completely rule hell. And that was kind of where the season left off. It was a really nice cliffhanger, and it was great to see them admit their true feelings for one another. Something I've been wanting since like the middle of season 2, when they had their first kiss, and I felt it was only a matter of time before this finally came around. And thank you to the writers and directors for finally giving me that. But another thing to take into account with Chloe is that her realizing that Lucifer is the devil and Maze is a demon as well. She's now realizing that all of these metaphors that Lucifer was using to describe his world, even though they were the truth in his eyes, she now realizes that they weren't metaphors. He was in fact speaking the entire truth, and him making the comment of, "I never lied to you, detective, I always tell you the truth," she now fully realizes that this is actually the truth itself. She now realizing that Lucifer being the devil and Maze being a demon, like all of these, his entire world is now coming into a realization. You know, God, heaven, hell, demons, angels, all of these things that he describes, like Cain, for instance. She falls in love with the world's first murderer, and Lucifer's like, he's in fact the immortal Cain. He's like, oh yeah, haha, very funny. But it's true. She's now realizing that throughout the entirety of the last 3 seasons, everything is now coming, like, it's becoming more clear to her. Like, you know, his random strengths, his hypnotistic way of bringing out people's desires, it's all reality, and it's all there in front of her, smack in the face, and she can fully see that now. And like, Lauren German gives a wonderful performance, not just throughout those 2 scenes in particular, which I described earlier on. The entire season, she is wonderful. Like, she is unsure if she can be with the devil or if she can be with Lucifer, and by the end of the season she comes to realize that, you know what, I can accept this man who I truly love for what he is, whether he is Lucifer, whether he is the devil, whether he's good or whether he's evil. I can accept him, and I want to be with him. And she didn't want him to return to hell, but he did so anyway, and that leaves a nice door open for a potential season 5. But if the series doesn't get renewed for a season 5, I felt that was a really nice point to end it off. Much better than the season 3 cliffhanger, because we wanted to see that particular action. Lucifer in particular, his true devil side was finally shown to us during this season, twice actually, in fact, near the end. It was wonderful to see his true devil side, like with the wings and like the devil face and devil body. It was all there. It was all there, like right in front of us, and it was great to see that. I thought the CGI team did a wonderful job, because it's the best it has ever looked. For the amount of times that we've seen his devil face, it was just great to see it. And you know what, props to them, and I hope we see more of that if there is in fact a season 5. But we see his devil side, and not just him showing his true devil form, but his strength, the red eyes, the realization that he is in fact the king of hell, and his talent, I'm going to call it, for drawing out people's forbidden desires. That's all explored lovely during the course of this season. His devil face has never looked any better. We see his true devil strength in a scene that's very much like Captain America Civil War, when he's holding the helicopter and holding onto the helipad to stop Bucky from escaping. We get a similar scene like this, where Lucifer's holding a car to stop a criminal from escaping, and he's holding up to the lamppost and he's screaming, his eyes are turning red, and it was great. I thoroughly enjoyed that scene, because we see his true strength, and that's kind of what you want with the devil. You know, he has this massive strength of he was able to open a fully padlocked door. He was able to push one person through a window with one hand. It's like, but we see more of that in this season, and I really like that. And seeing his devil wings was, wow, that was a treat. And in particular, and there was a scene, I think it was either the second to last episode or the third to last episode, where his hypnotistic bringing out people's desires, it goes completely off the rails when he is slowly, permanently transforming into his devil form. Like, it completely spills out like a plague, and everyone's turning around saying, "Oh, I want this. You know, I want this. I want this. I wish I'd never had done this." All of the desires are fully coming out, and that was a wonderful scene to see. Like, because hearing all those desires and having that particular power spread out like a plague, and it doesn't do it for the whole city. It just does it for Lux, that particular floor. It was great. I really enjoyed that. I thought it was like, I wish we could have seen a bit more of that. We see like, you know, the ITI contact with I can't believe who it is. I think it's the Marshal in episode 1. Like, says to Chloe, "Oh, you get to see my devil talent in real form now," and he's looking, but then he keeps looking back to Chloe, and the mumbo jumbo, the talent completely fades off every time he, like, you know, disengages the eye contact with the Marshal. He's staring at her, looking at Chloe next, staring at her, looking at Chloe next. He's just like, you know, see, you see. Oh wait, it's not working. Like, he realizes that he needs to maintain the eye contact, and that scene was funny. I really like that one too. But it's like, by now, it's great to see Tom Ellis in the role of Lucifer. I really enjoyed him from the very first episode of season 1 up until now. His like charisma as the devil, as Lucifer, is wonderful, and I'm at a point now where I can't see anyone else playing Lucifer, and that's very much the same case with me with Robert Downey Jr. As Tony Stark Iron Man in the MCU. I can't see anyone else playing that particular character. He's actually my favourite during the course of the MCU. And Lucifer, played by Tom Ellis now, I can't see anyone else playing that role as well. I can't see anybody replacing it and playing it as good as what Tom Ellis does. It's great to see him in a role like this. Eve, I thought, was a wonderful addition to this season. At first I thought her character was a little bit annoying for me, but gradually, as it kind of went on, her character like grows to understanding Lucifer and the world he's in right now. It's, you know, it was great. She was a wonderful addition. But there was one particular scene with her, Lucifer, and Chloe when they're interviewing or interrogating the big business guy after his son's back was hurt. It was very much like a chip on the shoulder type situation. Like, you see, like when they have all of these cartoons and films, when they have, like, you know, a head there and a head there, like one's good and one's bad. That was very much kind of what I was seeing through this particular scene, because, you know, as he's holding onto the handlebars and he, like, you know, his ankles is like, you know, it's interrogating. Eve is one side and she's trying to get him to embrace his true devil side of it, but then Chloe's the other side and she's like, "No, Lucifer, this is not who you are. You need to calm down." I thought that was great. It was very much like a head on the shoulder type situation, and it was really well done by all three of the actors in that particular scene. And her coming to the realization by the end of the season that she needs to figure out where she fits into this world, and she leaves Maze after realizing Maze has true feelings for her. You know, I felt sorry for Maze in that particular instance, because of all the people that she's slept with or she's had like sexual encounters with, it was wonderful for her to see there is someone who she truly likes, and it is, in fact, it's a woman. You know? And I think it's great that the series is exploring like the LGBT side of like our world, and I hope they kind of do more with that too. But May's coming to that realization, but then Eve is like, "I need to figure out where I fit into this world," and she then leaves. I can imagine maybe we'll probably see her more, maybe during the course of season 5. or maybe a couple of episodes or the whole thing. But it was great to see that. But this season was wonderful, and it was left on a really nice cliffhanger of Lucifer returning as the King of Hell, and like he's there on his throne, and you see all it's kind of the outshot of what I'm going to assume are the cells. Like they're all scattered around him, and he's there on his throne, and he's back to his rightful place, and that's kind of where I'm hopeful for a season 5 because they can continue it quite nicely. But if this is where the series is finally ending, I'm okay with it. It was a really nice shot, and there are many parts that they can explore with season 5, and I hope that they do. I guess we will just have to see what Netflix says, and if it does renew it for a season 5, I'm going to be extremely happy because I want to see more of this side of the show and how much it has changed since it's come to Netflix. Like the CGI's gotten better, I think the acting is fantastic, it shows more like gore, violence, nudity, like all bits like that. I hope they explore more of that if there is a season 5. But this season, like overall, for me, it gets a 9.5 out of 10, and it was honestly worth the year's wait from when the announcement was that it got renewed to when we've actually get to watch it. It was totally worth the wait. I want them to do more of this side of it. But thank you very much, guys, for watching this review of Lucifer Season 4. And I really hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of Season 4 and what you are hopeful for if they do a Season 5. But for now, guys, have a wonderful day, and I'll be sure to catch you in the next one. Bye for now.